Have you ever had a moment where you've had an upset stomach, you've been stuck in the bathroom, and as soon as you get out of the bathroom, it's time to go back in the bathroom? That's what we're covering in today's homeopathic remedy for first aid usage. My name's Dawn Waterhouse. I'm a homeopath and naturopathic practitioner, and I love to help empower my clients to learn about how they can use remedies on a first aid basis in their home. I have to put in the caveat that it has to be the right remedy for you. So one remedy that may work for someone's stomach bug may not necessarily work for your stomach bug, because we're all different and our bodies all need different things. So there's never one remedy cures all, but this is a really good staple to have for an awful lot of people for stomach bugs. So today's remedy that we're covering is Arsenicum album, and it's a really lovely remedy to help with stomach upsets. And it's really good where you have a stomach upset from eating soft, watery fruits, maybe having too much fruit, and that's flushing your stomach. If you're someone that suffers with restlessness and anxiety, maybe pacing up and down, maybe kind of like up and down between midnight and 2 o'clock in the morning, do consider this remedy. It's also a remedy that can have burning pain sensations, but oddly enough, it feels better for warm application. So maybe you've got burning pains, but it's better for a warm hot water bottle. It's also, you may feel better for hot drinks. So maybe if you've had an upset stomach and you can't face drinking water after you kind of like meal by mouth for a good period of time, maybe 24 hours, maybe you want your first drink to be a sip of a warm drink, consider arsenicum for that. It's also a good remedy where you are maybe having vomiting and diarrhea at the same time, or maybe having to be almost wanting to camp in the bathroom, because as soon as you come out of the bathroom, it feels like you just need to go back in. You maybe feel, yep, I finished being sick or having an upset stomach, and you come out the bathroom, no sooner do you get into bed or sit down somewhere, and you're like, oh, I've got to go back again. That's a really good indicator for needing an Arsenicum album as a first aid homeopathic remedy. The exhaustion of an Arsenicum album patient, or someone needing Arsenicum, may seem out of proportion to why they are so exhausted, because they just, I mean, if you think someone going backwards and forwards to the toilet that many times, you are probably going to be absolutely exhausted, but the exhaustion is absolutely debilitating. But they may also struggle to keep still and may be quite restless. There are other remedies that can be restless, but Arsenicum is a really good restless remedy. And Arsenicum patients will say they're really, really thirsty, but they may just have a sip or two. And so you'll give them a big glass of water because they're so thirsty, and they'll take a few sips and leave the rest. And you think you weren't that thirsty, but for them, that was a real burning thirst, which is a symptom or common feature in Arsenicum is burning sensations, be it burning thirst, burning pains, also burning sensation on the nose. If someone's got a cold, sometimes the discharge from the nose can be leaving redness here. That is another symptom of possibly needing Arsenicum. And when you see children that are licking their lips all the time and it's getting red around their lips, and you might say, stop licking your lips, and they'll be licking their lips because they're dry, but their saliva will be a little bit acidic and it will be burning their lips and leaving the redness around their lips. So an Arsenicum person may have that dryness around their lips where they're constantly licking to moisten it, but that licking process is going to make it worse. It's a good remedy for hay fevers where there's burning eyes and sneezing that doesn't seem to clear anything. And it's a good remedy for asthma where the patients struggle to breathe, particularly they're worse at midnight or 2 o'clock in the morning. They may be anxious, they may fear they're going to be suffocating, because if you're having an asthma attack, it is quite suffocative. And they may also feel quite chilly. It's almost like maybe they could sit on a radiator and still not be warm enough. That's how chilly they can be. They can also have eczema, urticaria, psoriasis, skin problems, and they have quite poor circulation. So they're cold, they just can't get warm. It's a great remedy for feeling insecure and anxious, and they might need a lot of reassurance. A child might need lots of reassurance. So you might need to feel like you're constantly cuddling them or making them feel okay when it's just not getting through because they're anxious. They can also be quite fastidious and worry about dirt and germs and like things to be lined up and right, which can then make them quite selfish and self-centered because they're kind of constantly worrying about things being right. But likewise, they can also be generous in nature. They like to keep their collections immaculate in order, and they like to collect money too. And they will also want lots and lots of support. They may be fearful of dying, and they may be anxious for others. If they haven't got anything wrong with themselves, they may be anxious for others. So it's still a form of anxiety. That anxiety will be keeping them up. So in summary for arsenicum, we're looking at possibly being fastidious about dirt or germs, being quite chilly, wanting company to reassure them so they're not thinking too much, being anxious or restless, be fearful of death or disease, and they would possibly also have burning discharges, burning pains, and they may have been worse since having an upset stomach or a stomach bug. So if you've had a stomach bug recently and you're kind of like feeling washed out, wiped out and not recovered, maybe your stomach's still not quite 100% right, you might want to try a homeopathic dose of arsenicum. With all homeopathic remedies, if a few doses of a remedy doesn't work, then you really need to seek the advice of a professional homeopath, just to kind of see what's going on and what's missed, because not everything fits into a first aid situation. And do remember that this doesn't replace medical advice. This is just about you building your knowledge of homeopathic remedies for your first aid kit in a real simple form. There's much more information on homeopathic arsenicum, but this is really exploring what you can use as first aid at home in your remedy kit. So I hope that's helpful. If you've got any questions or queries, please feel free to reach out. If you don't agree with homeopathy, that's absolutely fine, but please don't be putting negative comments, because it's up to you what you feel. This is here to help those that want to know more about homeopathic medicine. So like I said, do feel free to reach out if you need any support. I look forward to seeing you in future videos. Take care now. Bye-bye.